This is a News 3 Now special report.
Thank you for watching this special report from Channel 3000. Americans lost a record 20.5 million jobs last month. That makes April the largest single month of job losses since the Bureau of Labor Statistics began tracking the data in 1939. The unemployment rate soared to 14.7% in April. The last time American joblessness was that severe was the Great Depression. The losses in April follow steep cutbacks in March when employers slashed 870,000 jobs. Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of the Treasury and IRS today announced that nearly 130 million Americans have received economic impact payments worth more than $218 billion in less than 5 weeks. In Wisconsin, over 2.3 million people have received the payments, totaling over $4 billion. The Madison Museum of Contemporary Art announced it has canceled the 62nd annual art fair on the square due to concerns over the coronavirus. The event was originally scheduled for July 11th and 12th. Past events have drawn nearly 200,000 visitors and 500 artists to the Capitol Square every summer. Event organizers say next year's event has been scheduled for July 10th and 11th. A staff member for Vice President Mike Pence has tested positive for the virus. He is traveling to Iowa today, and the staffer who tested positive was not on that trip, but a source said there was concern about others on the plane having been in contact with that person. The news comes after a personal valet to President Trump tested positive for the virus earlier this week. 6 more inmates have tested positive for COVID-19 at the Dane County Jail. In late April, the National Guard tested all inmates and staff in the jail after more than 20 inmates tested positive for the virus earlier in the month. In all, 427 inmates were tested, bringing the total number of positive cases since March to 29. 3 of those inmates have been released. 1 has recovered and 25 are in isolation. 1 other staff member tested positive, bringing the total staff who've tested positive since March to 7. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections says it's released nearly 1,600 inmates since March to help reduce the possibility of spreading the virus. A corrections spokeswoman says most of the inmates released since March 2nd had been detained because they violated terms of their probation, parole, or extended supervision. 20 prisoners across 4 facilities have tested positive for COVID-19, and 24 corrections employees have self-reported testing positive. The chancellor for UW-Madison is expecting online learning to continue to play a big role in this fall semester. During a Wisconsin Technology Council webinar this morning, Rebecca Blank said to keep campus safe, the university is looking at potentially reducing some professors' workloads or curriculums so they can continue teaching both in person and online. She doubted that large in-person lecture classes will come back and said the university is looking at adding testing for the student body.
If you're working together in a lab, if you're in a dormitory, if you're in an athletic team, and you are gathering together regularly, we've got to be able to do regular testing.
Blank said the university has lost around $120 million, and that's without funding cuts she expects from the state.